What is happening? I'm Minnesota Vikings man 28, and today we're making some Week 14 NFL predictions. We're really getting down to the stretch. 4 games remaining for every single team. Some playoff spots. You know, so a lot of them are pretty much almost all of them are still for grabs, and then of course seeding for bye weeks are also going to be very key in these next 4 weeks. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Before we do that, last week I went 9-7 with a total record of 123, 67, and 2. So, still doing very good. Haven't been doing good as of late, but I want to try to get back to only losing 2 or 3 games a week. So, but I think this week can be it. So let's do it. Thursday night football, Jaguars Titans. This should be an interesting game. I feel like Jaguars are the spoiler in this. Jaguars are probably not gonna make the playoffs, and the Titans are still vying for a playoff spot. They're not. I don't think there's no way they're gonna catch up to Texans nor the Colts, but that wild card spot, that 6th seed, pretty much a lot of teams are going for that spot, and the Titans will be one of those to have a chance at it. And I'm going with the Titans here. I know the Jaguars beat the Colts 6-0, but I feel like the Titans at home will beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. So yeah. Next is on Sunday is the Jets and the Bills. I don't know. Well, last time these teams faced, the Buffalo Bills won because their defense dominated. They have one of the best defenses, but their offense can't really do that much. And since this is in Buffalo, I gotta pick the Bills here. So, Buffalo Bills. Next, the New York Giants against the Washington Redskins. Now, Washington sort of stayed in it against Philadelphia for a little bit, but then, it just went away. And the only touchdown they scored was a 90-yard touchdown by Adrian Peterson. Now, I never thought after Adrian Peterson went away from Minnesota they would ever have his highest, have more than that 82-yard, his longest touchdown in his career. And at his age, he got a 90-yard rushing touchdown. Amazing. So I want to congratulate Adrian Peterson on that. And he is the best offense player on the Redskins. And that's sort of saying something. I know he's still very good, but you expect some other people to maybe step up. And Mark Sanchez had to go in for Colt McCoy. Didn't have a butt fumble, but had a butt fumble recovery. So yeah, I don't know what it was with him and butts, but whatever. They're facing the New York Giants, who beat the Chicago Bears. Thank you, New York Giants. Thank you, Eli Manning. Thank you, Saquon Barkley, Odell, all you right there. And for that, you're going to beat the Washington Redskins in DC. Go Giants. Next, we have the Saints and the Buccaneers. Saints got beat by the Dallas Cowboys. And they're on the road. They're on the road again against Tampa Bay. I feel like this is going to be a close matchup for some weird reason. Tampa did beat the Saints in Week 1 when Ryan Fitzmagic was doing his magic. And, but now I think it's, Jameis Winston. I don't know, it's in Tampa. That's the only thing that's really bugging me about this. But saying that, I am picking the Saints to win on the road. It's going to be a little bit difficult since it's on the road, but they're going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, Saints. Next is the Patriots and the Dolphins. Patriots beat the Minnesota Vikings, held them to 10 points. I know they're on the road this time. I know they don't play as good on the road. And it's against the Miami Dolphins, which they haven't been doing so good in Miami, and they're playing them in December again in Miami. For some reason, this could be a loss for the Patriots, but I just can't, I know it's like the Vikings in Chicago. The Vikings can't really beat the Bears in Chicago, just like the Patriots can't beat the Dolphins in Miami. But I just don't believe in that curse, especially with the Patriots. So, if the Patriots lose the Dolphins, I'll start believing it. But yeah, Patriots over Dolphins. Next is the Ravens and the Chiefs. Should be an amazing game. I mean, probably one of the big games of the week. Um, Okay, it's the tale of two opposite teams. Ravens have a good defense, not an okay offense. Lamar Jackson has been doing pretty good, while the Chiefs have an amazing offense, but just the worst defense ever. They almost allowed the Raiders to get back in the game. I mean, they only won by a touchdown. But saying that it is in Kansas City, I can't. I don't know. I want to go with the Ravens because I always say defense wins championships, but I feel like the Chiefs are right now a powerhouse, and they can lose. I mean, there's some teams I can see them losing to, but I don't know. The Ravens, they can lose to them, but I can't see them losing to them. So I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs in this one. Rare case where I pick offense over defense. Next is the Colts and the Texans. I'm going with the Houston Texans on this one. They are on a hot streak. 9 straight games after going 0-3. They're facing the Colts team that lost to the Jaguars, of course. I'm also expecting them to score more than 0 points. Yeah, and their defense actually did very good holding the Jaguars. Of course, that's the Jaguars. And if you can't score anything against the Jaguars, try. How are you gonna do against JJ Watt? Yeah, no. Texans. Next, Panthers Browns. Panthers. No explanation needed. I know they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're on the road again against the Browns, but it could be a close game. But seriously, if the Panthers lose to the Browns, then yeah, you can call their season gonzo. So, yeah. Next, we have the Falcons and the Packers. Now, I want to say I really feel bad for the Green Bay Packers. I honestly do. I don't know. It's just their season hasn't gone the way they wanted to. I was really hoping for some more competitiveness from the Green Packers. I thought they would stay in it till the very end. I didn't think they would maybe make the playoffs. But if they would have won last week, I feel like they still would have been in it till the end. But at this point now they have a new head coach and all that, so I guess I can't see them winning. I don't know. Will they get last in the NFC North? Who knows? I'm picking the Atlanta Falcons, even though they have been looking bad themselves. I know it's in Green Bay, it's going to be cold, but just have to pick the Falcons because Green Bay is in a mess right now. So, yeah. Next we have the Broncos and 49ers. It's not really a matchup. Broncos. I like where they're going. They can get that 6th seed. I love Philip Lindsay. He's helping me on one of my fantasy leagues right now, and he's the primary asset to that offense. I mean, Case Keenum, of course. Always remember him as a Viking, and he is doing an okay job with the Broncos. But I feel like that offense runs through Philip Lindsay. So yeah, Broncos. Next is the Bengals and the Chargers. I'm picking the Los Angeles Chargers. Always have to remember that. Los Angeles Chargers. So, simple. I don't think the Bengals, I don't know. No AJ Green. I think he's on injured reserve. They're just in a mess right now, so they're not making the playoffs. And the Chargers beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, so very impressive with that. Next is the Lions and the Cardinals. Cardinals beating the Packers in Green Bay. Will they beat the Detroit Lions at home? I don't think so. I know it seems a little bit weird to say that thinking the Lions will win against the Cardinals even though the Packers lost against the Cardinals. But I don't know. I just have that weird feeling. I feel like the Lions are better than their 4-8 record. They think they're a little bit better than that 4-8 record. So I'm picking the Detroit Lions because they should win that game. Next we have the Eagles and the Cowboys. Amazing game. Eagles really need this win more than the Cowboys. But I think proving on Thursday Night Football, the Cowboys are not a team to be messed with, and their defense shows that. So defense wins in this one. Dallas Cowboys over the Eagles. Should be a low scoring game, but Dallas. Next, Steelers and Raiders. I mean, Raiders should not even have been close in that Chiefs game. They're lucky that they played a bad Chiefs defense. I know the Steelers defense is not as good, and it's in Oakland, but I mean, if the Steelers don't win this one, I don't know how they're winning the AFC North then. So I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next, we have Sunday Night Football, Rams and Bears. If you're listening, LA Rams, you better beat the Bears. You better beat the Bears, because I don't want to count on the Green Bay Packers beating the Bears, because I don't know, because it's not going to look like the Packers are going to beat the Bears. I need you Rams to beat the Bears. I think you're going to beat the Bears. Prove it. If the Giants can beat the Bears, so can you. LA Rams to beat the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football. Finally, Monday Night Football. This is going to be the biggest. I mean, this is this is the game that's going to be most factored in for the playoffs. If the Vikings beat the Seahawks, they will be the 5th seed. And they'll have a good shot of still winning the North if the Bears lose to the Rams. So this game is going to mean a lot to the NFC. And I'm going to pick the Vikings, of course, because they're my team. So yeah, Vikings are going to win the game. Even though it's in Seattle, even though the Vikings offense hasn't been playing good, they just need to run the ball. But I think, we pay Kirk Cousins the amount of money to win these types of games. If we don't win this game, I'm going to say it right now, if we don't win this game, we're not making the playoffs. It's hard to say that, but I have to say that. So it's a very vital game to win. But, I always have to pick my team, Minnesota. So yeah, those are my Week 14 NFL picks. Tell me yours down in the comments below. This has been Minnesota Vikings Man 28. And as always, Skol.